now Startup Central, the first and only daily show in India dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Karunya Rao. We have a power-packed show lined up for you over the next half hour. First up, the big story of the day. Amazon India has announced a massive milestone. The company says e-commerce export sales from India have crossed $1 billion and they now target $5 billion from the segment by 2023. Before we discuss more on this, let's first listen in to Amazon India head Amit Agarwal talking about the regulatory landscape with FDI and e-commerce rules impacting the business.
The beauty of internet is it's a transparent world. You cannot hide things. And in a transparent world, you need to make sure that your service is good enough so that customers choose you. And they are continuing to do that. So we are growing very healthily. We continue to grow great, and sellers are very excited. And as you said, government is a big partner for our local business as well. And we actually do share numbers in terms of how we are enabling small, medium businesses. I think that number is 450,000 to 500,000 sellers. I have been very public about that. The things that are relevant for our base, for our customers to know, we do share. So by sharing this, we want sellers to feel more mobilized. There is so much opportunity out there that we genuinely have our time better spent on thinking about the customer than thinking about the competition. And I've kind of said this before as well. Our approach to business is very different. Our approach to business is to find those 2 or 3 things that are durable over time, that customers care about, and just focus and invest on those 2-3 things. We're focused on offering the largest selection of products in India at great value and fast and reliable delivery. That strategy continues to remain our core strategy. Our as many services customers have access to, it's good for them. Our job is to work extremely hard to make sure that in that transparent world they choose us. And given that our focus is on the things that matter to customers, we're very confident of that continuing to happen. I think all of these things are being looked at, under the right industry bodies. We share our inputs. And I don't have anything more to share outside of that. I think we kind of share that in more structured manner through our industry representatives that represent the whole industry. I think in case of exports, I'm excited that India is thinking about digital as a big enabler for transforming the lives of all these manufacturers. So, to the extent that we should remove friction, we should remove unnecessary forms, we should create incentives for people to come online, make people's lives easier and get out of the way is the best way for these people to succeed. I think the best thing that India can do is to get out of the way of customers and sellers and empower and enable them, and magic will happen, as you see.
And now we have Gopal Pillai, the Vice President of Amazon, who talks about Amazon's export sales and the company's targets in the country.
We had a hypothesis that India is a strong manufacturing hub. There are apparels, cotton, home decor products or home products or toys or across different categories, even business industry specific supplies, right? We know that it's working, but until 4 years ago, people were going through the traditional route of B2B exporters and going through them to global countries, and there are only a limited set of people doing. We wanted to make it so democratic and it's available for every motivated sellers in the country, so that they don't have to look only for the India consumers to make a living. They can also count on 300 million plus customers across the world to grow their business. And it's a very simple value proposition. But what we know is there are a lot of blockers, right? For example, how will they ship the products? How will the products reach the customers on time? How will we provide integrated solutions? How will they deal with currency conversion?
So how much of the problems have you been able to address? A lot of this requires working with the government also, right? You're talking about international shipments and products.
So international shipments, we are working with a lot of third-party carriers as well, the shipping providers, and we send them in bulk to our FCs. We get negotiated rates so the sellers can take advantage of it. Or once the order comes in, they can ship the products as well. And then there are government forms and the export forms and customs. The relevant entities within the government have been extremely helpful in unlocking some of those issues, and we have we unblocked a lot, but we don't. The problem we see is that if you stop working on behalf of sellers, then we will say, okay, everything is done. It's complacent. Then so we continue to work backwards from the seller needs and continue to innovate for them.
Got it. But also this is a global platform, so to say, various countries. How does India stack up vis-a-vis other countries in terms of demand that is going out there? Are we still the top 2-3 players, so to say?
So you mean to the global market?
Yes.
I don't have the exact numbers, but as you can normally see, India is one of the stronger manufacturing hub. We'll naturally see it, and particularly in select categories, we'll have a disproportionate role to play. For example, bed sheets or kitchen towels or some of the toys and other stuff. But we are also seeing innovations like Wow shampoo, for example. They became successful on .in. Now they are able to make it successful globally. What they are saying is the customer reviews from .in and customer reviews from .com help them make their products better.
Got it.
When we talk to them.
All right. Lastly, Gopal, I know you would say that the global CFO has indicated that you're over as far as the regulatory concerns that you had. You've been compliant, and I know you would say that. How easy or tough was it to ensure that all the structures had to change and put in place a mechanism? And is that issue completely behind you now as you go out and focus on business growth?
Absolutely, it's completely behind us. We are completely compliant. And we are not seeing any slowdown in the demand from the customer side and the demand from the seller side. We continue to acquire new sellers who are continuing to add new products. As I said, Q1 alone, more than 6 million products got listed by the sellers. And we continue to be the most trafficked, most downloaded, most visited website. So we are extremely happy.
Okay, moving on to another important story. Agri-tech platform Ninjacart raised a whopping $100 million from Tiger Global. The B2B platform will look to invest the money into its infrastructure and new credit offerings to the farmer. Ninjacart's founder Thirukumaran Nagarajan joins us now to give us more details on what the company might be doing in the future. Thirukumaran, congrats on the big fundraise. Tiger Global seems to have renewed its focus on India with another big B2B bet. Where would these funds be deployed? That's the big question, and that's what I'm going to start with, asking you.
The funds primarily will be deployed to build the supply chain infrastructure. If you see, right, the supply chain infrastructure for vegetables and fruits, it's extremely fragmented and broken in India. And since vegetables and fruits are highly perishable, it needs a very time-bound supply chain. So most of the investments will go into building the supply chain infrastructure and also the technology involved in the overall supply chain. So that will be the primary area for investments for us.
Now, coming to your part on the difficulties in supply chain, that's the reason we call agri-tech innovative and challenging at the same time. How have you been able to address the teething troubles, and what's the role of technology that has been played here?
Okay, so with regards to tech, right, starting from the farmer, right, we capture details about what all plots, in what plot of the farmer, what SKU is growing, what is his growth phase, when his harvest is starting, what is the period of harvest, and how much he'll be able to harvest, what is his yield capacity, to predicting the demand at the customer level, and placing the order at the farmer and making the farmer use the app to access all this information, and then managing the complete supply chain. Let's say after the farmer gives the produce to us at the collection centers, then how the item has to be picked and packed and sent to fulfillment centers, and also how the fulfillment center receives the item and forwards to the distribution center. And then from the customer angle, right, the customer, almost 100% of our customer places the orders through the app, and how we process the inventory, how we manage this inventory, and also we have done end-to-end tracking of the vegetables. For example, if a retailer receives the items from us, we will be able to tell which farmer supplied this vegetable, where is he located, and when did he harvest. All this information also tracked end to end, and also on quality control, enabling the farmers to tell how to grade and teaching them on that. So it's like every and also with for the drivers, right? How do they deliver the item to the customers, etc. So everything is enabled through tech. It's like I want to say that it's very easy to start this business and scale it up to a 20-30 ton of volume per day, but scaling it from there without the help of technology is literally not possible.
On working with the farmers, how easy or tough was it to get them on board on the platform? Also, considering there's so much of demand-supply data, how do you engage over the long haul?
Initially it was initially whenever you start working in a village, it's very tough because gaining their trust and making them break the relationship with the middlemen and for them to start working with Ninjacart, it's actually a very tough process. So the first 10 to 20 farmers in any village is very critical for us, and making them succeed is also very critical for us. But once this 10-20 farmers see the success by working with Ninjacart, then they help us getting more and more farmers into the system, and then it becomes really like who will get to work with Ninjacart kind of a thing comes into the ecosystem. So the first, when you enter into a village, it's a little tougher for us to convince the farmer to work with us and making them see the success. But post the 10-15 farmers, it's actually very easy for us.
And on expanding services, have you already tested models of credit? Data, again, can help you explore that space, right?
So we did. We are in the process of doing various types of credit products and testing it out. For example, on the farmer side, we have tested 2-3 credit products, and also on the customer side, we have tested 2-3 credit products. As you said, right, data is very critical for actually offering credit, to understand the customer credit behavior and come up with a credit score, and also to say what limits I should give credits. So there are like we are already experimenting with various credit models, and maybe soon we'll be able to launch a big credit model for both the stakeholders.
While you maintain that operationally, Ninjacart is now profitable in Bangalore. With expansion plans and investments, will focus now be on growth?
See, for us, the primary objective will be to grow, because the market is so huge, and we are like, even in one of our biggest markets, we are like less than 1 or 2% in terms of market penetration. So the primary objective of the company will be to grow and grow faster, but it will not be like a mad growth by burning money. It will be like there will be a lot of focus on profitability, and let's say a lot of focus to be on like taking the company profitable. So it will be like growth will be a top priority, but we will grow profitably.
All right, Thirukumaran, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking time out to chat with us about this big fun infusion and what the company plans to do with it. Meanwhile, we'll slip into a short break. There's more on the other side, so stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching Startup Central right here on ET Now. Flipkart co-founder Sachin Bansal has invested 20 crore rupees in MilkBasket. The CEO Anand Goel joins in on the show on how he got backed by India's most high-profile entrepreneur in order to get that kind of backing. Anand Goel, CEO MilkBasket, is with us. Anand, hi, good evening, and thank you for coming on board. And firstly, congratulations on having Sachin Bansal as an investor, one of the biggest new age entrepreneurs of our country. What is the backstory? What got Sachin excited? While we know this is a debt investment, will he be involved as a mentor or in any other capacity?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much. With respect to Sachin Bansal, I think, Sachin has created this firm, BACQ, and what they're looking for is emerging startups who are making a difference. And I think like any other investment, we see as a very keen interest from the firm's perspective. We are definitely very excited to have him on board and look forward to see what type of guidance can we get in the near future.
All right. Okay. And what about, if you can give us some understanding of the entire space of milk delivery and you and, service providers like yourself solving the problem in this domain. What have you learned from customers so far? And also talk to us about the traction that you're getting as of now.
Sure. So, see, milk delivery is a mechanism. The way we look at milk delivery is that this is an entry into a customer's door, and the whole thought process behind MilkBasket is how do we use the supply chain to become actually a grocery provider? The top-up needs, as we call it, for a household, and how do
Okay, I think we seem to have snapped the line with Anant. We'll try to get him back once again. But for now, I think we'll move on to our next important interaction that we have lined up for you on the show. Airtel has announced the launch of a new OTT streaming service, WinkTube, that would combine audio as well as video content. In an attempt to reach out to small-town India, Airtel has developed the 5 MB service that will play songs in vernacular languages as well, like Punjabi, Bhojpuri, besides Hindi. 18 Hours, Parisha Tyagi caught up with Airtel's Sameer Batra on the new launch and its target audience. Listen in.
Essentially, this is a new product that we have launched to solve for getting the next 100 million Indians on the entertainment bandwagon across music and videos. And like I said, there are about 350 to 400 million internet users in this country. But only about 100-150 million people that are consistently accessing video and music. We feel that there is a genuine need to solve for the remaining 200 million Indians in terms of getting content to them, right? The second question is, who's the TG? I think the TG is the Indian user outside the top 100-150 cities. And in terms of what is different, like I said to you, we went back and did a lot of consumer work. And there were 4 or 5 key things that consumers said, which we have now tried to solve. First and foremost, we built out a fully vernacular interface on the app. We've launched in Hindi, but we will go and do all languages very, very quickly. The second thing is that we've used technology to very, very deeply power personalization and recommendations. And then we have really built very simple features like audio video switch. We are actually picking up the MP3 music of the user from his handset, bringing it into the experience. And then we use a very, very light interface, which means that it works across all kinds of smartphones very simply. And like I said, it is also Android Go compliant. So it's a very light, stable interface that we put out, fully personalized and vernacularized for consumers.
So because you mentioned smartphones, let me ask you, will this app also be also available on iOS, and what kind of subscription fees will be applicable for this?
So like I said, we've not pushed this on iOS at the moment. When we went and studied the consumer, we realized that all of them had Android. So iOS is not part of the roadmap at the moment. And we think if we solve for the Android experience, we will get to the TG that we care about. On the pricing side, like our core services, there is a first month 30-day trial for all Airtel users and non-Airtel users, post which Airtel users can continue to stream and download without paying us any subscription. We have that differentiation on the Wink Music app also. For non-Airtel users, there will be a charge of 99 that will be applicable after the first 30 days.
So what is the one factor which provides this app an edge over all others? We know there are a lot of music apps coming up these days. So that one feature which is the USP of this app.
Okay, more than the feature, I think we believe that we are probably the only service that is solving for the next 100 million entertainment user. And to that extent, I think it is suitably differentiated. When you back that up with the experience that we have as Airtel, our distribution capability and our ability to make this product available to consumers at large, I genuinely think that as Airtel, we have a job to do to get this product in the hands of as many million customers as we can. So I don't think there is a feature differentiation that I want to talk about. But I think our capability to reach that users is what will make the difference.
So did any external partnership went behind this app launch? Are you collaborating with any external companies for maybe resourcing the music or something like that?
No, so that's a very good question. We've used this fully with our in-house team. We built it in-house. The consumer work has been done in-house, and we've not used any external capability or collaboration. Yes, our partnerships on the content side across music and video, the existing partnerships that we have are actually flowing into this directly. So to that extent, yes, we are thankful to the partners that we work with that have allowed us to bring this content in a meaningful way to consumers.
So my last question to you, and I can't let you go without asking this one. Reliance Jio remains the key competitor when it comes to apps. We've seen them building a near perfect ecosystem for apps. Where do you think Airtel stand as compared to Reliance Jio? Are you also striving to build an ecosystem like that?
See, I don't want to comment on a competitive context. I think we've spoken about this, that we will continue to explore products that add value to the consumer and touches life in many different ways. So we've now got music, we've got videos. With this product today, we've got an integrated entertainment experience. I don't know if I mentioned, we now have a product called Airtel Books as well. And as we go forward, there will be multiple areas that we will consistently continue to look at as long as we believe that consumers want value and we think we have the capability to take them to consumers. So we already have what I think is a rich bouquet, and we will continue to work towards enlarging that bouquet in new areas included.
All right, so with that, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Startup Central. Thank you for watching.